It's just the start of the Big 12 and Power 5 talk to come. Listen to JJ and Alex Monday on your drive home. Afternoons from 3 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. It is 1st and 12. Happy Sunday to you. Our program is always brought to you by Macy's Grocery Store. Happy shopping, everybody. Alex Kirry, Mitch Harper. Glad to have you along here with us. And it was a Friday night. It was a Friday evening game in Dallas, which is always kind of interesting to see how that one's going to go from the attendance standpoint, Mitch. But Ford Stadium there at SMU, this was talked about a lot. And it was everybody's wondering. The early season, you don't know what you're really going to get. And so these lines at the beginning, when BYU was a 2-touchdown-ish dog going into Dallas, we know that SMU can be very, very, very good on offense. But, man, BYU's defense showed up. And it wasn't just holding SMU to only field goals. They get the win 18-15 on the road. I think that most of the reaction that I got from folks who I chatted with all day on Saturday and part the way today, where it was just like, hey, look, man, they got the win. Ugly win, but who cares? They go to 2-0, and the defense looks great. But, man, there's a little bit of that darkness creeping up because Jake Retzlaff had a Jake Retzlaff 2023 performance, and that doesn't leave BYU fan feeling really good about that 18-15 win, albeit a W.
No question. And, BYU should feel good about being 2-0 because every win is precious. You can't take them for granted, especially last year after starting 5-2 and then losing 5 straight. Enjoy these moments because they can be few and far between, as they've grown to realize in a power conference league. But, the defense was the highlight. And not only was the scheme, the play calling, they completely took out Preston Stone, literally, the starting quarterback for SMU. He was phased out after only 3 drives in the game. But the speed of BYU's defense and the starters, too, Blake Mangelson, Jack Kelly, they played great football. And it's just like it's coming together, this scheme, this vision that Jay Hill has. And it was great to see Jay on location with his wife, Sarah, there at the stadium. He was calling the defense from the press box, and clearly there's a collaborative effort going on. That's a term we heard back in, 2019 with Jeff Grimes, and, it's collaborative, and we're going to work together. It's like, oh, my gosh, I'm having flashbacks again. But it worked, though. And, I honestly, I come away with this, and this might be, a take that talking down on the opponent, but I come away feeling like SMU's not that good. I think they might be a 4 or 5 win team this year, but still in this moment, this is a good win for BYU. But the offense, to your point, yes, I was ready to say Jake Retzlaff needed the hook after that first interception in the third quarter.
You said you were going to be patient this year, Mitch. Come on.
but the thing is that it was catastrophic in that moment, it felt like. But you got to give Retzlaff credit for that pitch, the audible, as Kalani put it, and he makes that great play on 4th and inches near midfield and pitches to Miles Davis, and they get a 37-yard gain. It was the whole Jake Retzlaff experience. But I think next week, and we'll get to that more, but when they play Wyoming, that logo alone on the helmet and how bad Wyoming is looking through the early part of the season, he has these mistakes against them. He's getting the hook. And I think that you got to give Bohannon the chance. But, he got it done. But it feels like that little leeway he created from Southern Illinois, that kind of evaporated in Dallas.
Here's the big difference. And like you said, Wyoming did end up losing to Idaho, by the way. And we were like, well, mark it down. They're going to lose to Idaho, and they did. The Vandals are a way better team than that I think people give them credit for in Wyoming. They're not going to have their star running back either against BYU next week. They're going to be in real trouble there in Laramie. But here's the difference from last year, Mitch, what I noticed. And you and I keep our opinions to ourselves before we do this show. We have a lot of, with one another because we have a lot to break down. But you're exactly right about the defense. The thing is there's a whole change. Like, if you want to look at this team and say, yeah, same old, kind of an ugly win, the offense sputtered, the defense is a different beast now. And what you were saying about the gelling, the coming together, whatever you want to say, it's coming together. The vision is being realized. There is something different on that defense, and it's a speed thing. Like you were saying, it's an effort thing that we didn't really see out of a lot of these guys last year too. And so whatever the thing you were looking for a step forward, the defense, at least in 2 games, has taken it. And I'm telling you, it feels cultural too, right? Like,
No question.
and maybe there's a little bit of that boost of what Jay Hill went through the last couple of weeks, but that's the defense that was being built during the offseason and, frankly, part of last season. And I think that's the part if BYU fans can walk away and go, no, I think there's something different about this team. It's at least about the defense, even if the offense right now is still trying to find their identity a little bit. And so that was the biggest positive I took away. I mean, what did they give? SMU is a freaking juggernaut offense, and what did they give up? 265 yards, something like that, of total offense. I mean, it was, and at one point, you look down on the sheet and you go, Preston Stone was negative 22 yards his first two drives. They had negative 22 yards of total offense. So it's stuff that this defense getting into the backfield. It's not just the 5 sacks. They only had 11 last year. They've already got 5 this year. It's where they are. They're in the backfield almost every freaking play, Mitch, and the scheme's working, man.
And R.J. Maryland, the star tight end for SMU, completely non-existent. One catch for 2 yards. BYU was all over the place, and to hold SMU to no touchdowns in their home stadium, that was a great performance. I mean, I said on your show, too, JJ and Alex, I said I felt like this was going to be a defensive performance, a matchup, because, BYU's historically always had these games where they kind of grind it out, and it's maybe the offense isn't always clicking, but they find a way to miraculously pull it out. And that kind of felt like this game. But what feels like it's not just a flash-in-the-pan moment is that this defense, there was depth, too, that performed. Even early in the third quarter when Tyler Batty had a Mike Tyson moment or Evander Holyfield moment, loses his ear or whatever it was. His ear was bleeding, his left side, and he's on the sideline. Logan Latui and Zay Banya are there, and they, even without Batty, they are able to force a field goal in that spot. So you're getting contributions from a lot of guys. Evan Johnson at cornerback.
Dude, how about like Tanner Wall? And how about I mean, my goodness, Crew Wakely showing up on special teams too, and even on defense. These are names that we were looking at and you were going, yeah, they might not see a lot of field this year, but man, everybody made the effort.
It was a collective effort, and even the offense. I thought the offensive line did a solid job. I mean, that ground attack is concerning, and the lack of a transfer portal addition is rearing its ugly face now after you lose L.J. Martin, you lose Hinckley Rapati to injuries. You're now turning to Miles Davis and Enoch Nawahine? What? Yeah. I mean, Kalani told me at Big 12 Media Days, like, I really like Enoch Nawahine. And I thought, okay, I'll store that away for a year or two from now and kind of use that as a nice little footnote. I didn't think week 2 we'd be seeing Enoch Nawahine get and run. He didn't play at all during fall camp, and then he comes up with a big touchdown run. So it also reminds me of what we think we know about these teams or how these games are going to play out. Some unlikely sources emerge, and for BYU, that happened. And it'll be interesting to see what they do going forward with more of these guys getting film and opportunities if they can continue to sustain this. But that defense, though, gives you a lot of confidence that, hey, maybe if the offense is struggling still, they can win a rock fight. And that was something you couldn't say in years gone by.
The broadcast kept going, Enoch Nawahine, and I was like, okay. Even these guys weren't ready to see the four-string running back going in. All right,
Andre Ware was ready to just give the hook to Preston Stone. These guys will play harder. They will tell you. I was like, wow, geez, Andre Ware is just ready to bury Preston Stone here.
Andre Ware is allowed to talk trash about SMU all he wants. He threw for 518 yards in one half against them one time.
That is very true. But BYU gets a big win, 18-15. You'll hear from Kalani Sitake coming up next. First and 12, brought to you by Macy's. Mitch Harper, Alex Kirry, here on KSL News Radio and the KSL Sports Zone.